It was long ago, but to me, it feels like yesterday. I can still feel the dust under my feet, the way the ground trembled beneath us, the way the sky stopped breathing. We had just left Egypt, slaves turned wanderers. We weren't ready, not really. We still flinched when someone raised their voice. We still carried fear in our bones. But that morning, something changed. The camp was silent, not the quiet of sleep, the quiet of awe. Even the animals didn't make a sound. And then, the mountain. It was covered in cloud, but not like any cloud I've ever seen. It burned, and yet it didn't burn out. It roared, and yet we weren't running. We stood there, millions of us, and yet I felt completely alone. Like the words weren't for all of us, they were for me. And then the voice. No language can describe it. It wasn't loud, but it shook my soul. It wasn't soft, but it comforted me. I am the Lord your God. I remember those words not in my ears, but in my bones. We all fell back. Some say we died and came back. Maybe we did. Because when that voice touched us, it was like being broken and rebuilt in the same breath. It wasn't just thunder. It wasn't just words. It was truth, so pure, it left no room for doubt. I looked around and saw men crying without shame, women holding their children tighter. And for a moment, just a moment, we weren't slaves. We weren't afraid. We weren't wandering. We were chosen, seen, spoken to by the Creator Himself. Then came the rest, each command like a beam of light straight into the soul. Honor your father and mother. Do not steal. Do not murder. These weren't rules to control us. They were a way back to ourselves. And when it ended, there was silence again. But it wasn't the silence of before. It was a silence full of meaning, full of weight, like the earth itself was holding its breath, afraid to forget what had just happened. To this day, I can still hear the voice when I close my eyes, not with my ears, but in the way I walk, the way I speak, the way I bless my children, because I was there, at Sinai. And once you've heard God speak, you're never the same again.